Hey there, Steeler Nation. Flip Fisher, part-time YouTuber, part-time writer, full-time Steeler fanatic. Gonna bring you a little podcast today about Steven Nelson, the former Steeler, now much maligned Steeler. Steeler Nation faithful have turned their back on him. The boo birds and haters are out in force. And I think this is fully ridiculous. And it's being stirred up by the media. And, there's just ridiculous narratives. Even Nelson, he didn't have the Pittsburgh Steelers in his Twitter bio. He never wanted to be here in the first place. Are you kidding me? That's what you're coming with? That's why a professional cornerback in the NFL is being bashed on? Come on, get out of here. That's insane. Two thought trains here on why he departed the Steelers. One of them is, I think the Steelers came to him and said that they wanted him to put void years in his contract, like they've done with 4 other players. And I think he said no. Well, why wouldn't you? Why would you not help the team out like that? Well, that's easy. Where's the stability? Where is his love from the team? Where is the extension? Steelers only wanted him around for this year. But void years, they're fake years. I did a podcast on that last week. We all know that void years, they're not real. So I really think that's a logical scenario. The other one is, I think when the Steelers approached him to do a contract, they tried to offer him every contract that the Steelers gave everybody else that does not have the name Ben. I think they gave him probably a typical Steelers contract, 15 to 18 in guaranteed money, with only 2020 being guaranteed. No guaranteed years like other top cornerbacks get. And if you don't think he's a top cornerback, come on. 11th best cornerback according to PFF the last. How many of the top 10 cornerbacks on that list are sitting on some pretty massive guaranteed contracts? Now, we get it. Get it full well that the Steelers are in a bind this year. And a lot of that they've created themselves at 198. Well, it's 182 and a half now. And they've trimmed down. That's not Steven Nelson's fault that the Steelers mismanaged and buried themselves in this hole that they've dug themselves out of. That's not his fault. But if one of my two scenarios is right, which I really do believe, either one or both are correct, it was basically a slap in the face. A lot of fans, they don't care because Steelers didn't draft him. He's not a Steeler. He was a rental player. Well, geez, you going to say the same thing about, Joe Hayden, Larry Foote? Come on. Let's be realistic here. And this is the reason why I'm going to put it on the Steelers with this. And a lot of the media, they're not going to show you this because they're going to drive their narrative about how Steven Nelson's not a team player. Well, let's look back at Steven Nelson's Twitter. Now look at that. That March 16th, that is a day before the new league year starts, when they start making cuts. And what does he say? Moment of truth. So I fully expect that they were having squabbles way before then. That he thought maybe he was going to get cut because he was not playing ball with them. That he was not going to put void years in his contract. That he wanted guaranteed years in his contract. Let's fast forward a little bit here. March 19th, he went traded. Wow. 3 days later. Wow, that escalated quickly. And I think it's because the Steelers basically said, oh, this is the frustrating part. How can a solid corner like Steven Nelson, Kevin Colbert, not get anything out of him? How can we not trade him? That is just absolutely ridiculous. I'm just absolutely baffled. I mean, what would we pay for Nick Vannett? Like a 5th rounder for that guy? And we can't get anything out for one of the top cornerbacks. I just find that absolutely crazy. And that's 78.1. If you're not familiar with Pro Football Focus and how they do their grading and so forth, 78.1 is excellent. The last 2 years since he's been with the Steelers, he's graded out better than Joe Hayden. Which, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it and cherry pick, he's absolutely earned it. Joe Hayden was terrible in 2019. And he bounced back last year to be above average. Still terrible against a run. You get those 2 good years out of Steven Nelson. I'm going to say that Steven Nelson was the best cornerback we've had since Ike Taylor. And it's really sad. It just stinks. Now Cam Sutton is going to probably move out to the outside. He is flashed on the outside. Oh, Steven Nelson. And you just kind of look here. Okay, so here we go. Don't make long-term decisions with temporary situations. And that's exactly what I'm referring to with the void year contract. The void year contracts that the Steelers are so desperately pouring out. And Nelson's basically, he retweeted that. Didn't want to go down that slippery slope. Now, where he also gets beat on here is where he making a public announcement is a little out of my character. But you guys made your decision. Please don't hold me hostage. Now, I've seen this absolutely mishandled and lied about. I mean, ridiculously lied about. Saying that in the media saying Steven Nelson says he's being held hostage. That's not what he's saying. He's saying, give me my release so I can try to at least get some money, in what's left of the market. And that's one thing that stinks that the Steelers did. They did. They held him. They held him for a week while all the money in the market dried up. And yeah, I get it. They were trying to work out a deal with him. But it sounded like, that they were worlds apart. And what team was going to trade for him then? Everybody knew that, the Steelers were going to release him. That whatever the problem was with the contract wasn't going to get fixed. But I mean, still, get a seventh rounder out of him, Colbert. His last statement here. Pittsburgh, much love. I appreciate the opportunity and the relationship I gained along the way. Respect to a Class A organization from top down. Thank you to my day one supporters, and can't forget my haters. You motivate me more than you know. And what's really funny is that his haters are actually crying about that. Woohoo! He called me out. Yeah, he called you out for being a hater and jumping to ridiculous conclusions, saying that he was being held hostage, when that is absolutely not what he said. So often it's the player that's always the bad guy. Too often Steeler fans do not try to look at both sides. But Will, Steelers fans look at both sides. Looking at that, it's the Steelers that really caused the situation. This does not lie on Steven Nelson's shoulders. That how the Steelers handled it up until the trade demand, the seeking of the trade, and then how we botched any kind of trade, kind of like what happened with AB to an extent. Everybody in the NFL knew that AB wanted out. His market dried up because the Steelers painted themselves in a corner. Well, they did the same thing with Steven Nelson. Instead of making it public, why weren't the Steelers saying, okay, well, look to trade you in the legal tampering period? But, that's my 2 cents. We ate more dead money. In a year, we couldn't afford to eat dead money. Now we're out an excellent NFL corner. Now we're down to, I cringe. The Sutton play corner. Does Lane play corner? Oh, I hope Lane doesn't play corner. I'd rather see that Pierre kid that we saw flash last year play corner. I don't want to see Lane. Keep Sutton in the slot. Trot out Pierre. Don't trot out Lane. But there it is. That's my 2 cents. That's what I think of the Steven Nelson situation. I'm devastated because I wanted Steven Nelson to come to Pittsburgh before he came, before he was signed. Always have been in Nelson's corner. And I just hope he goes out of our division. Hope he goes out of the AFC. I wish him the best of luck. I'm not a hater. There it is. Gonna hop off my Steven Nelson soapbox. Did a little bashing on the team. Gonna catch some grief on that, I'm sure. But anybody who knows me knows that I don't look at the Steelers through black and gold glasses. I bring the realism. All right. Well, there you go, Steeler Nation. Little fun video. Well, there you go, Steeler Nation. I'm still rusty. Been 6 months since I've done much YouTubing. So bear with me. I'll get my feet underneath me. We'll definitely have some fun. If you have any comments, let me know. Let me know in the comments section. And if you think I sucked, give me a thumbs down. Or if you think I put up some good content, give me a thumbs up. But the biggest thing is be sure to subscribe and ring that bell to get notified when I put up new content. Or if I go live. I want to get around to doing that. I enjoy live shows. All right. Well, thanks all. Appreciate you stopping in and listening. I will hopefully be putting up another video very soon. Laters.